What's up, guys? Manny Rocks going through with another video. It's been here a little while since I put one of these together, so kind of late night right now, but thought I'd kind of jam this out before it gets too late, because I know getting busy here in the next couple weeks. So here it is. We have a Jordan box. This is one of those oversized boxes, which some of the higher up collectors out there know. If you get an oversized box with no labels or some BOM labels, you got some good stuff inside. Usually means promo samples, PEs, but something that's not released to the general public. So this is one of those oversized Jordan boxes. You can see that big jump man right there. I'm not going to show the label on this one for a reason, but let's get to the shoe. Open that up. Okay, got these things bubble wrapped. Gotta take care of them. This is one of the shoes that I absolutely love. Now, you probably saw this in my top pickups of the year. I didn't get super deep into the shoe. As I said, I would do a full review on it. There it is. This is the Jordan Oregon 4. And I'm super stoked about this shoe. Mostly because this is a shoe I honestly never thought I would own. I'd seen it in my size. I've seen it in my size in a couple places. It's a small size. And really, I had no chance of getting these. One guy tried to sell me small size, but wanted quite a bit of money for a worn pair, and I really wasn't feeling that price. This pair, buddy of mine, put on the market, trying to max his profits, and it's one of those things. It's not that I want to pull the homie card on him, but it was one of those that I really just I couldn't pay his price, and so I ended up telling him that thanks, but right now is probably not the time. Some time went by, and it hits me back up, says, well, you know what, I know you want them, what are you willing to pay? He said, hey dude, you're fam, I'm not trying to go over on you. So I told him a price based on kind of what I'm seeing on the market. He thought on it for a sec and said, eventually he just said, you know what, screw it, you're the homie. So he definitely hooked it up. I'm super stoked about it. I'm glad to have them in hand. Like I said, this is one of those shoes that I honestly never thought I would ever own. So I'm super glad to have them. I'm still kind of giddy even to have these in hand. But let's get to it. Okay, move one of these aside here. Should move it into the background here with the other shoes. So there's the 4. Again, this is a small guy size. I've heard more than one person say some of the small sizes tend to look good on the shoes just because the accents are much closer together, and I can't really disagree with that argument. Anyways, you have a two-tone sole, different shades of green. Underneath there, you got a different shade of green for the Jumpman. These are totally DS, so I'm super stoked about that. Not gonna lie, they'll probably stay DS here for a while down the road. I do want to put them on, but it's got to be something special. Do want to point out something on some of these back tabs. I've seen more videos and more videos out there that are showing guys that think they have a real pair on their hands when actuality they have a fake pair. And some guys are cool with replicas. I'm not knocking that game. Those guys that are into them, that's fine and dandy. But when a guy buys a shoe and thinks that they're real, the ultimate letdown is when they find out it's not. And the world of social media, there's a lot of educated guys out there that may not own the shoe but know how to tell it apart. And some of those guys can be really quite mean in how they approach that conversation. And that's kind of a cool thing. I mean, if you angle that back tab there, it kind of changes color. I just noticed this. But anyway, some of those guys that might end up picking up a pair that they think is real and go to find out that it's not. That's an ultimate letdown. And guys online that critique this sort of thing, sometimes they're not the nicest guys, and they don't have a very PC approach, not a very soft approach. They'll just say, "Oh, well, they're fake, you dumbass. Oh, nice fake shoes." You know, just kind of knocking that excitement down, and that sucks. Like I said, guys that expect a real pair of shoes, it really sucks to find out that you have a fake pair on your hands. You know, everybody wants a legit pair. Everybody wants an authentic pair. Authentic pairs run quite a bit of money for this particular shoe. So, anyways, I've done a lot of searching around to do some comparison vids. It's one of those things that I start digging into the details of shoes, and I absolutely have to know all the nitty-gritty stuff on them. So this shoe was not exempt from that. I went through, did a lot of digging, and gosh, I swear to God, there's about 99% of the shoes out there, maybe 95% more realistically. 95% of the shoes that you find in this pair are replicas, fake shoes. They're all kind of in the same category to me. And that sucks. It really tarnishes the market. I bought this pair. I knew they were legitimate early on. Came from a legit source, probably one of the most respected collectors out there. And so I knew they were real. But anyways, onto the video. Wanted to show you guys a couple ways to tell these shoes from real to fake. Okay? So, quick telltale way to tell apart some of the fakes on this shoe is to take a look at that back tab. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in and focus on that back tab for you. Okay? And interesting thing about this back tab, which is a little bit of a trip, is that this back tab is actually supposed to contain some imperfections. You're going to see some dots all around there. Hopefully you're able to see that. I've got it zoomed in as close as I can and focused. But you're going to see some imperfections in that back tab, some dots. The reason for this is these back tabs are hand painted, and I think I got a tiny little bit of a scuff in that O. Okay, other shoe has a few more imperfections. See some uneven texture on that glossy material. You see some of those dots. See a tiny sliver of a crack right there. Try to not touch that too much. But again, this is all hand painted. And then another thing you should know is that these shoes are very prone to cracking on that back tab. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. There's a sliver of a crack here up on top of that back tab. It's one of those things, really tried to avoid it, but it's almost inevitable. This back tab's holding up pretty good. Those guys that own legit pairs, I mean, you know this about this shoe. You know that these shoes are super prone to cracking. It's almost unavoidable. And it's kind of ironic that the fake pairs or replica pairs tend to have slightly better back tabs. So it's one of the things that sucks, but again, telltale way to tell on a fake pair. Also take a look at the shape of that O. I've seen some fake pairs with the O that, I mean, comes not even close to the shape here. Some of them are wider, some of them are just taking up more real estate on the back tab. So study it. Get to know the shoe. And, you know, like I said, 95% of the shoes out there that I've seen are fakes. That goes for eBay. That goes for YouTube and people's Instagram accounts. Okay? I haven't looked too much for Oregon 4s on Instagram, but, you know, the several I've seen, it's sad. A lot of these guys think they have legit pairs. They think they got a steal on them, and they aren't legit. One of the things you got to know is there's a single production for these. They were made for the Oregon football team and staff, So they were given out to them, but single production, these are super, super limited. It's not like the pit crews, these guys right here. These pit crews, okay, those were made for the cheering section and the football team and the staff. So you actually see quite a few pit crews around. People are still asking for a lot of money. I think it's a really, really nice shoe. It's a really cool shoe. But you see a ton of those more than you do these Oregon 4s. These Oregon 4s are super, super hard to find. And if you're looking for a pair that's under a size 10 or 11, good luck. I mean, that's a super, super hard size to find. This size right here is incredibly hard to find. I heard it's one of 2 pairs, and that might be true. So anyways, going forward, I want to show another thing that I've noticed on some of the fake and real pairs. Okay, take a look at that that patch there on the tongue. That patch has some very specific spacing. Remember I told you these were made in a single production, so if you see any imperfections or any kind of stitch patterns or anything like that, it all seems super consistent. You see that the stitching spacing here on the sides vertically is very different than that horizontally. Okay. Now, one of the things with that stitching, sorry, I'm getting it all out of focus here, guys. Bear with me. Okay, so one of the things with that stitching is the stitching across the top is spaced much closer. It's a very interesting thing. I mean, I've gone down to counting some of the stitches across the top, and I think I've nailed it to like 16, 17 stitches across. But they're spaced differently than the ones going vertically. But it's the same size patch on all the shoes. Your size 16 is going to have the same as a size 9. So, another thing to take a look at, some of the fake pairs out there, that stitching spacing is pretty consistent with that of the sides. Like I said, there's a single production, so these shoes are incredibly consistent in their patterns and their stitch patterns and the way that they were hemmed together. All of it is very, very, very similar across each of the different pairs. Again, another thing to look for is take a look at that mesh. Make sure there's not too many waves in that. It's got to be oriented correctly. I've also seen some of the air bubbles that kind of take on a little bit of a different shape. So watch out for that stuff. Like I said, 99% of the shoes are fake. I've done a lot of legit checks on these shoes, and guys keep thinking, hey, I'm getting a steal, this guy's got to get rid of it. Or a guy says, oh no, it's from a buddy of a buddy of a buddy of a buddy who played for Oregon. Okay? And they'll spit out some random Oregon player that played a few years ago, and of course the guys go on to Wikipedia and they look him up and say, oh shoot, well he was on the roster, that must have been the guy. Oh man, I believe him, and I've seen that story I don't know how many times. To this day, of the guys that have had me legit check shoes, I've not come across a real pair. I've talked to local consignment guys over at Index, and they told me, if I remember correctly, that almost weekly they have somebody come in with a pair of Oregon 4s, and they never get a real pair. And so, you know, guys keep buying them up. It's a really, really cool shoe. It's super, super nice, but there's a lot of fakes. So if you do come across a pair that you like, guys, take the time and get it checked out by somebody that does know. A lot of local consignment shops will help you out. You know, the guys pound for pound, they'll help you out. Guys at Index PDX downtown Portland, they're going to help you out. So find somebody with some knowledge. If not, get on some sneaker forums. There's people out there that will help you. You know, and they'll let you know, hey, you're good to go on this pair or you're not. Okay. Seen some inconsistencies on that Tinker Hatfield patch there behind the tongue, but that's not something I necessarily rely on. Okay, I've seen some of the fake pairs where you zoom in on some of that stitching. Okay, get that stitching there, and you'll start seeing stitching that's an entire different shade of green. This should be that dark forest green looking color right there. And I've seen some fakes with like a candy apple green stitching. You You know, and like I said, it's too bad, but it does happen. It happens a lot. But hopefully you can get some good takeaways from this shoe. I'm also super fortunate. Got some Jordan shoe inserts for the shoes that came with it. I apologize, guys. This camera is not liking me today as far as zooming in goes. There we go. So, like I said, got some Jordan wooden inserts. These are kind of the same ones as on the Bin series, as well as on the Jordan 23 titanium shoes. Super cool thing to have with the shoe. It kind of makes it a little more nostalgic for me. It feels more complete, feels more prestige. But either way, guys, so this ended up being a review vid, but also kind of a legit check type of video. So hopefully you guys learned a thing or two. If you are considering a Jordan 4, like I said, do some homework, ask some questions. If you have pictures of them, ask for more pictures, ask for highly detailed pictures. Cameras nowadays, they're very high power. They can get some good quality shots, and ask for them. If you're investing a lot of money, ask for more pictures. Get somebody to take a look at them. If you want me to take a look at them, hit me up on Instagram @MannyRocks. Hit me up on the comment section. We'll find a way to get in contact. Okay, I'm glad to help people out. I hate seeing people get ripped off thinking they got a legit pair, and then they're out thousands of dollars. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoy the video. I get really passionate on some of these shoes, especially with guys getting ripped off. So sorry if I ranted there for a bit, but hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe down below, hit the like button, follow me on Instagram, and let me know what you think. Comment down below. Let me know how the video is and if you want to see anything else in the future. All right, guys, take care. Catch you later.